ಭಾರತೀ ತುಂಗಾ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ಗಂಗಾ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸೀಕ ಜೈನರು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಜನಕದ ಹೋಲುವ ಕಡಧಾಮ ಕಾಯದು ವೈಣಿಕರ ರಾಮ.
ಸಾಧ್ಯ.
ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಸುಂದರ ನದಿ ವನಗಳ ನಾಡೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಹೇ 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 ಲಾ 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 ಲಾ.
ನಮ್ಮ ನಡೆದಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
ಲಾ 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 ಲಾ.
Respected Chief Minister, and respected my old friends, and I always describe respected elder brothers and sisters and the younger brothers sisters. I have certain reason to describe brothers sisters. That is actually 7 billion human beings on this planet, same human being, the way born, way die, same. While we are alive, everybody want happy life, do not want suffering. So everybody have the right to be happy human being. So therefore, we really need a sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. A lot of today's problem we are facing, including within the country, as already Chief Minister and other already mentioned. These fundamentally lack of sense of oneness of human being. If we consider rest of the human being as a true brothers sisters, then no basis is it to divide and bully, cheating, exploiting. So now time come, we have to work to promote sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. So therefore, I always start my talk called brothers and sisters. Now, I really feel great honor to participate this very, I think, a meaningful meeting. It reminds us the one of, I think, the great human being on 20th century, Dr. Ambedkar. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I am not going to state more detail. You already mentioned. Firstly, I think he, great lawyer, an economist, and a sociologist. I think he really has to make, I think, certain sort of ideas, certain views to open millions of people's eye. That's very important. Now, I am now going to tell something. I think almost the person who bring revival of ancient one of India's religion, that is Buddha Dharma. So, Buddha Dharma is India's religion, India's Dharma. Almost whole Asia, basically, historically, Buddhist country. So Buddhism in these different countries not grow within their own country, but come from India. So look, I think almost 2,000 years. I think India's message, that is Buddha Dharma, reach whole Asia. Then I'm quite sure, I think Buddha Dharma, like any other religion, main message is message of Karuna. And with that, message of Ahimsa. I think really brought inner peace, happy society. So, the ancient India's message, Buddha Dharma, I think truly helped immensely to, I think, billions of people through centuries. Then, within Buddha Dharma, Pali tradition and Sanskrit tradition. Pali tradition, Buddha, according to some Sanskrit sort of sutra, it mentioned Buddha is a give three Dharma wheel, we call Dharma wheel. First Dharma wheel at Sanat. So there he mentioned or taught the Four Noble Truths. And then 16, correct?
16 aspects of the Four Noble Truths.
With that, 37 practice. That is common. Sanskrit tradition, Pali tradition, same. Then, second Dharma wheel at Rajagri. So mainly, Paramita Sutra. Now there, actually he, because of that, elaborate the third noble truth, that's true cessation, Nirodha, and the path to achieve that, the wisdom which understand anathema theory. So in the Paramita Sutra extensively explain. Usually we call shunyata. And the way to explain shunyata, not nothingness, but everything, you see, everything exists entirely depend on other factor, not by itself, not independently. Now quantum physics also, you see, develop, you see, more or less same view. Things, you see, external things does not exist by objectively. But their existence very much depends on observers. So that we call Patit Samubandha. That's Sanskrit traditions. I think extensively explain these things. Then I think one famous, Buddhist teaching, he taught us, oh my follower, monks, scholars, should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation. That's quite something unique. Therefore, many masters of the Buddhist follower, like Nagarjuna, Arya Asanga, and Arya Deva, and Buddha Palita, and Chandakirti, and Shantadeva. These masters, even some Buddha's own teaching, some text, they reject. If you accept such Buddha's teaching literally, it goes against reason. Therefore, they took the liberty to reject Buddha's own teaching. The Buddha taught according the audience certain their mental disposition. Therefore, he taught different philosophical views. Out of his infinite love and wisdom, judging audience mental disposition, he taught different philosophical views. So mainly within the Buddha Dharma, the Vivasek school of thought, Sauthantic school of thought, Chitta Mantra school of thought, then Madhyamika school of thought. So all come from same teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. So therefore, you see, in philosophical field, there are differences, even within the Buddha Dharma. So this very helpful, you see, to learn, humanity. There are so many different mental dispositions. Therefore, we need different sort of philosophical views. So all major world religious tradition. I usually used to make, the three aspects. Number one aspect of all major religious tradition, religion, aspect of religion, Dharma. Here, all carry teaching of karuna, compassion, love, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, self-discipline. All major religious tradition carry same message. So all major religious tradition have same potential to serve, to help humanity. We can see wonderful people come from these different traditions, really dedicated people, like such as late Mother Teresa. Wonderful. Because of their faith, their tradition, carry teaching practice of love and serving other people. The second aspect of this tradition, philosophy. Now there is big differences, as I mentioned earlier. Even within the Buddha Dharma, there are different sort of school of thought. So basically, the theistic religion, whose main faith is Creator. Then ancient one of the branch of Sankhyaism and Jainism and Buddhism, no such idea, no Creator, rather self-creation. So there's big differences. But doesn't matter. Purpose of these different philosophy is same. Is to bring firm conviction about love, about compassion. So the theistic religion, the very reason the concept of Creator is everyone created by such Creator. So the very nature of that Creator is infinite love. So according to the theistic religion, I think as far as I know, most of the theistic religion, just one life. This very life created by Creator, which is infinite love. So, Creator, God, like our Father. We all, 7 billion human beings, all children of that infinite love. That brings a strong sort of the will. Oh, I must be compassionate child of God. Wonderful, very helpful. So all these, and then those non-theistic religion, no God, no Creator, but ourselves are the Creator. So everything depends on one's own shoulder. As Buddha said it,
the Buddha said that the sages or the Buddhas do not wash away the sins of sentient beings. Nor do they remove the suffering of sentient beings, and nor do they shift their own realizations into others, but only by teaching the truth do they lead sentient beings to liberation.
So, therefore, you see, Buddha, in a way, you see, all responsibility put on our own shoulder. So, that is a concept of philosophy. I mean, that concept come philosophy, law of causality, cause and effect, cause and effect. So the concept of karma, all our sort of experience, you see, due to our own karma. So if you create good karma, you get benefit. If you create negative karma, you have to face consequences. So that way of approach, to some people, very, very effective. So now, positive karma or negative karma, no absolute karma or karma. Therefore, according to the situation, any action which brings happiness to other, that's good karma. Any action to bring uncomfortable other, that's a negative karma. So the foundation of demarcation, good and bad, is must related with our experiences. Because we want a happy life, happiness, joyful. Nobody, including insect, do not want suffering or pain. So any action causing pain is negative. Any action causing happiness, that is positive. So good karma, bad karma, judging on that basis. So that's very good, that kind of teaching. You are your own master. So you should be more compassionate. Don't harm other. If possible, serve other. Serve, help them. If not, at least restrain harming other. So that's those non-theistic religious sort of way of approach. So very good. So to some people, that way of approach is more effective. To some people, the concept of creator is more effective. So therefore, there are different philosophical views. Philosophy itself contradiction each other. But same purpose, so no problem. So therefore, religious harmony is very, very possible. All major religious tradition, same message of love. And use different philosophy, same goal. So no problem. I am Buddhist monk. And I am student of Nalanda masters. So I learned all those sort of serious argument between Buddhist master and non-Buddhist master. So as a student, so I know these things. But then, judging, the main message, religious side, all same. So I genuinely, sincerely respect all major religious tradition. Then third aspect, that is culture or certain habit. That I do not consider the teaching of religion. That's mainly influenced by social habit, social system. Now the subject, social justice.
No, social justice.
Social justice. Now what do you call low caste, Dalit or something. Now that I don't think come from true the real religion. Religion is teaching us practice of love. Some discrimination, that's I think influence from this existing society system. That is feudal system. The feudal system, this is some elite people. You see, they justify to exploit workers. So they have certain sort of privilege due to their own karma or due to some sort of God's thing. So the poor people, due to their karma or due to some God's sort of plan, you see, they as a worker. So today's world, democratic sort of society, even though some country don't fully practice or implement democracy, but the future of the humanity is democracy, no other way. So the feudal system, that gone. So in the habit or in some kind of cultural aspect, you see, some discrimination, and male and female. And in this country, I think unfortunately the caste system, as you already mentioned, as Dr. Ambedkar made, I think, serious effort. I think low caste. Still, I think in some area, which the upper caste use that water, the low caste cannot drink. How? India, religious-minded nation, a cultured people, cultured nation. I think out of three civilization, ancient civilization, Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization, Central Valley, sorry,
Indus Valley.
Indus Valley civilization. The original India civilization, you see the Indus Valley civilization. Among these three civilizations, I think Indus Valley civilization, I think produced most profound thinkers, philosophers. Wonderful. So India, I always now talking, I'm messenger of ancient Indian thought. Because all our knowledge and practice come from India. Not come from Tibetan snow mountains. All knowledge come from Indian plain. One Tibetan master, I think 14th century, he expressed, till light of India reached Tibet, in spite land of snow, still dark. Only after light of India reached Tibet, then Tibet become bright. So all our knowledge come from India. So I always see describing you Indian, historically, our guru, we are Chela. But I am quite proudly to say we are not only Chela of ancient Indian master, but we also quite reliable Chela. So all this knowledge of ancient Indian scholars, professors, we kept over 1,000 years through rigorous study, not just a puja, not just a prayer, but rigorously study. The root text memorize by heart. Myself, age 7, 8 years old, I already started to memorizing some of these root texts. So therefore, through that way, we kept this knowledge over 1,000 years. So it is quite sufficient reason to say we are quite a reliable Chela of ancient Indian masters. Okay. So then, me personally, I sort of now consider as a son of India, reason, every part of my brain cell is filled by Nalanda thought. And then this physical survived by Indian dals, Indian rice. Over now, 57, 58 years. So I'm son of India. So therefore, when I sort of get immense the value, help from ancient Indian tradition, Indian thought. Therefore, now I really serious concern. Your ancient sort of knowledge, ancient sort of the knowledge now must revive in this country. So ancient Indian knowledge, not only ancient one, but also very relevant to today's world. So India, only India can do combination, modern education, modern technology, because of modern technology and modern economy, plus knowledge about inner peace, how to tackle our emotion, how to bring inner peace, optimism, self-confidence. These are ancient Indian knowledge. You can combine these two. Then modern education, modern technology, these provide us physical comfort. the ancient Indian knowledge provides us mental comfort. So firstly, within the country, you should pay more attention. Then this caste system or all this backwardness eventually, through education, will change. India's constitution, wonderful constitution, but constitution remain there. But change must take place in public mind, through education, through awareness. One time I was in Soweto, in South Africa. I visited one African family, black African. I told them, the constitution, now you already have democratic constitution. But emotional level, it takes time. You must develop self-confidence, equality, and can do the equal way white people do. So then, one native sort of African, he actually, one teacher of one school, he responded to me, oh, we cannot be equal. We, black African, our brain is inferior. We cannot compete with the white people. That moment, I really felt very sad. If mental level, that kind of thinking remain there, then the constitution bring equality cannot work. So then I argue with him. No. If we together go to one brain specialist doctor or scientist, ask any differences brain due to color, our scientists definitely say, no, 100% same brain. Then I argue with that person, and also explain about our own case in Tibetan, inside Tibet. Some narrow-minded Chinese, you see, because of that, they express Tibetan brain is backward. Only question of opportunity. When we have the opportunity, we can be same because of that level. So through education, you see, bring this certain sort of emotionally or some kind of inferior feeling that can change through education. So therefore, the Dalit or the low class sort of the people must develop self-confidence. Many occasions, when I give some talk to follow of Dr. Ambedkar, I always emphasize they should develop self-confidence, work hard, and through education, various sort of different fields. So through education, you should be equal. I always see mentioning. So therefore, cultural aspect, there are some drawbacks that not from religious teaching, but from because of the social society or feudal system. Now that must change. Feudal system, no future. So my own case, at least last four centuries, Dalai Lama institution automatically become head of both temple and spirituality. That I think because, you see, some Lama institution, you see, consider something important. So since 5th Dalai Lama, this institution become head of both. So that outdated. So 2011, I totally retired. Not only myself retired, but also 4th century old tradition, Dalai Lama institution become automatically head of both temple and spirituality. Now that voluntarily, proudly, happily cease. So that's one example. Even in the name of religion, religious institution, some because of feudal systems or some influence, some impact, that we must change, we must stop. So therefore, the caste system is actually a bad habit and exploited, the instrument of exploitation by the landlord, feudal system. So please, you should develop self-confidence. We are same human being. We have same right. We have same potential to become equal, even better. So that's very important. That's very important. So therefore, now I think the Buddha Dharma, particularly the Nalanda tradition, some Western scholar, they say Buddhism, particularly the Sanskrit tradition, is not religion, but science of mind. There's some truth. So last 30 years, I have serious discussion with scientists, mainly 4 fields, cosmology, neurobiology, physics, particularly quantum physics, and then psychology. So after 30 years, it became very clear it's mutual learning. Many scientists are really showing interest or they find very useful information from ancient Indian psychology. So like that. So therefore, I think the Nalanda tradition, because the emphasis on reason, experiment, therefore, we can go side by side with modern science. So therefore, now science, modern science, I think generally every people convinced scientific finding. It proved. So among different tradition, religious tradition, I think Nalanda tradition can go side by side, and with mutual sort of help. Help.
Mutually beneficial. Mutually beneficial.
Mutually sort of benefit like that. So sometimes I really feel quite proud. I'm a student of Nalanda tradition. So you see, have certain sort of self-confidence, talking, discuss with scientists. If our faith is just a faith, not experiment, not sort of use a logical approach, then sometimes it's difficult. So all these are your treasure, your tradition. Now, please pay more attention about your own 1,000-year-old, your own tradition. Indian, you should think, all those Buddhist countries, from where Buddhism come? From this country. So you should feel proud. In ancient time, India's message cover whole Asia. Now modern time, 21st century, number of scientists also now showing genuine interest, genuine respect. So these are your tradition, not a Tibetan tradition, but your tradition. So I want to share these sort of my own experience and my view. So you are master, we are chela. So it is chela's responsible to make report to Guru. Thank you.